That night Lucas turned me around, gently but firmly. His eyes searched mine, hungry and sure. I backed against the washing machine, breath caught in my throat. "I can't," I said. "It's wrong. I know. But I need this. I need you." I didn't move when he leaned in. I didn't resist when his lips met mine. That night he took me in the guest room. He kissed me like he'd been starving. Touched me like I was the answer to every question he never dared ask out loud. When it was over I lay in the dark staring at the ceiling, guilt crawling up my spine like a shadow. I was the nanny. He was a married man. And yet, I didn't stop him when he came back the next night. Or the night after that. "My name is Jane, I am just a nanny. I've crossed that line with a married man again and again." Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, do well to subscribe and hit on notifications. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for always watching my videos. I still remember the first time I stepped into their house. Everything smelled like money. Fresh white lilies in a crystal vase, polished wooden floors that looked too perfect to walk on, and walls so quiet they almost whispered. I had never felt so small. Luna sat at the dining table like a queen on her throne, her silk blouse spotless, her lips painted in a perfect nude shade, and her eyes cold like glass. She barely smiled as she looked me over. "You're Muslim?" she asked. "Yes," I said softly, adjusting my hijab. "Is that a problem?" She glanced at my scarf, then at the papers in her hand. "No. I hope your beliefs don't interfere with the job." "They won't. I'm here to care for your daughter. That's all." Luna didn't nod, didn't offer me water or a seat. She just flipped through my resume, like it was nothing more than a grocery list. Then she asked about my experience, how many children I had cared for, what languages I spoke, whether I was CPR certified. I answered everything politely, keeping my hands folded on my lap, hiding the nervous tremble in my fingers. Then he walked in. Lucas. Tall, effortlessly handsome, with hair that looked like it had been carelessly styled into perfection. He wore a white button-down, sleeves rolled up, the first two buttons undone. His wedding ring caught the light as he reached for a bottle of water from the fridge. Our eyes met for just a moment, and in that moment, something shifted. "Jane, right?" he said, smiling as if we were old friends. "Yes, sir," I replied quickly, lowering my gaze. "She seems sweet," he told Luna. Luna gave a tight nod. "Quiet. Modest. She'll do." That was how I was chosen. Like a piece of furniture, something to blend into the background. I moved in 2 days later. They gave me the room at the end of the hallway near Little Mila's. It was small but clean. I was grateful. I unpacked my clothes, lined my prayer mat near the window, and whispered a quiet Alhamdulillah. I told myself this job would be simple. I would work hard. I would keep my head down. I would stay invisible. But in that house full of silence and secrets, I was about to become part of something I never asked for. It began with small things. Lucas started lingering longer in the kitchen when I was making Mila's breakfast. He'd walk in shirtless, freshly showered, asking me if I slept well, smiling like he already knew the answer. First, I avoided him. I thought it was harmless, maybe he was just kind. Maybe he was just trying to make me feel comfortable. But then came the compliments. "You have beautiful eyes, Jane. They say more than your mouth ever could." Or, "I don't think I've ever seen someone wear modesty like art." I would blush, quietly thank him, and go back to folding laundry or wiping counters. But inside, I was melting. Not because I wanted him, no. Because someone for the first time in a long time saw me. Not the hijab. Not the uniform. Me. Then came the first night Luna was away. She had a business trip in New York 3 nights. Mila fell asleep early, and I stayed downstairs, cleaning up after dinner. I thought I was alone until I turned and saw Lucas standing there, a glass of whiskey in hand. He didn't say anything at first. Just watched me. "You always this quiet?" he asked finally. "I try to be." He chuckled and sat on one of the stools by the counter. "You don't need to. Not with me." I should have walked away. I should have said goodnight and gone to my room. But I didn't. He asked me about my life, where I came from, why I took this job, if I missed my family. And the more I spoke, the more I forgot I was just the nanny. I laughed. I let myself enjoy his company. I let myself be seen. That night, as I stood to leave, he gently touched my wrist. I like talking to you, he said. It makes the house feel warm again. I nodded and excused myself, heart racing. But from that night on, it became a routine. He'd wait until Mila was asleep, until the lights were dim, and the house was silent. Then he'd find me, folding clothes, saying my prayers, brushing Mila's hair from her eyes while she slept. And we'd talk, closer each time, louder inside than outside. Then came the night it happened. I was in the laundry room, sorting clothes, when he came behind me. Close. Too close. You smell like jasmine, he whispered. Do you always? Lucas, please. He turned me around, gently but firmly. His eyes searched mine, hungry and sure. I backed against the washing machine, breath caught in my throat. I can't, I said. It's wrong. I know. But I need this. I need you. I didn't move when he leaned in. I didn't resist when his lips met mine. That night, he took me in the guest room. He kissed me like he'd been starving, touched me like I was the answer to every question he never dared ask out loud. When it was over, I lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling, guilt crawling up my spine like a shadow. I was the nanny. He was a married man. And yet, I didn't stop him when he came back the next night. Or the night after that. The nights no longer belonged to me. I'd wait until the whole house went quiet, until I heard Luna's door lock down the hall and Mila's soft breaths turn to a rhythm in the dark. That's when I knew he was coming. Lucas never knocked. He'd slip into my room like a secret, as if we shared some unspoken promise. A kiss would greet me, then his hands, then his weight on the bed beside me. And every night I let him. Sometimes I cried after. Sometimes he held me. But mostly we said nothing. I told myself I was weak, that I had betrayed my values, my faith, and another woman's trust. But when he touched me, all my shame drowned under the heat of his skin. He whispered things in my ear that made me feel real, seen, desired. I forget who I am with you, he once said. And I believed him. During the day we played our parts. I cared for Mila like she was mine. I prepared meals, picked up toys, and listened to Luna talk about business calls and board meetings as if I hadn't just laid with her husband hours earlier. The guilt ate at me, yes. But it didn't stop me. One evening as I was brushing Mila's hair, she looked at me and asked, "Why do you smile more when Daddy's around?" I froze. I said nothing. Just kept brushing. That was the moment I realized someone would eventually see. Someone would find the cracks in this lie we were living. It wasn't just our secret anymore. The house felt tighter, like the walls were closing in. Then Luna started watching me. She would glance up from her coffee as I walked past. Ask strange questions. Did Lucas come in late last night? Or you're always up early, don't you sleep? I'd force a smile. Lie without blinking. But one night Lucas came in too drunk. His steps were louder, his words slurred. "I missed you," he whispered, pulling me close. We didn't hear Luna's footsteps. We didn't hear the door creak open. But when I looked up, she was there. Barefoot. Silent. Eyes wide with a horror she didn't know how to hide. Lucas scrambled to stand. I pulled the blanket to my chest, shame burning my skin. "Luna," he started. She didn't speak. She didn't cry. She just turned and walked away. And with that single step, everything shattered. The next morning, the house was colder than I'd ever felt it. Luna didn't speak to me. She didn't scream, didn't throw things, didn't accuse. She just moved like a ghost through her own home, careful, quiet, deadly calm. The silence screamed louder than any words ever could. Lucas tried to talk to her, but she shut him out completely. Locked the bedroom door. Ate nothing. Slept in Mila's room. I wanted to leave. I packed my bags, folded my clothes, and placed my prayer mat at the very top. I even wrote a letter, apologizing, trying to explain the unexplainable. But I couldn't place it in her hands. I had taken something sacred and ruined it. What words could ever fix that? 2 days passed. Then Luna called me to the living room. Her voice was sharp, flat. Mila was at school. Lucas wasn't home. She stood in front of me in a robe, arms crossed over her chest. Eyes dry. No tears left. I'm not going to make a scene, she said. But you will leave. Today. I nodded. I understand. I trusted you. I know. You prayed in this house. You held my child in your arms. She paused, her voice breaking for the first time. And you were laying with her father the whole time. I couldn't look at her. My chest felt tight. Shame wrapped around my neck like a rope. I never meant for it to happen, I whispered. But you let it, she said. She was right. I let it. Every night. I let him take pieces of me, until there was nothing left I could recognize in the mirror. Lucas tried to stop me as I wheeled my suitcase to the door. You don't have to go, he said, voice trembling. I looked at him, really looked for the first time in weeks. And I saw the emptiness in his eyes, the guilt, the weakness. You never really saw me, I said. You saw a fantasy, a body, an escape. He reached for me, but I stepped back. I was the nanny, I said softly. And you were a married man. Then I left. I walked down the driveway with tears in my eyes and a prayer on my lips. I asked Allah for forgiveness, for strength, for peace. Because in the end, no matter how much he whispered in the dark, I was just the nanny, and he laid me every night, until everything we touched turned to ash. Have you ever imagined yourself in this kind of situation? What did you do about it? Subscribe to this channel and hit on notifications for more interesting stories like this.